This is the story of a man whose mind never gave him a moment of peace, and one simple lesson changed everything. There was once a young man named Armin. From the outside, his life looked normal. He had a home, a job, and people around him. But inside, his mind was never quiet. Every day, his thoughts pulled him in different directions. Sometimes, he lived in the past. He remembered his mistakes, the wrong decisions, the chances he lost. He replayed those moments again and again, wishing he could change them. And when he wasn't stuck in the past, he was lost in the future, worrying about what might happen, fearing things that hadn't even happened yet. What if I fail? What if everything goes wrong? What if I lose everything? These thoughts never stopped, day or night. Even when he sat quietly, his mind was loud. Even when he tried to sleep, his thoughts kept him awake. Slowly, it started affecting everything. He couldn't focus on his work. He couldn't enjoy simple moments. Even when something good happened, he couldn't feel it fully because his mind was always somewhere else. One day, after another restless night, he sat alone in his room, tired, exhausted, not just physically, but mentally. I can't live like this anymore, he said to himself. That day, he made a decision. He would find peace, no matter what it takes. People in his town often spoke about a wise man who lived on a hill far away. They said he helped people understand their minds. They said people returned from him, changed, without wasting time. Armand decided to go. The journey was not easy. The path was long, steep, and tiring. But for the first time, he didn't care about the difficulty because the pain inside him was heavier than the climb. After hours of walking, he finally reached the top. There, under a large tree, sat the wise man, calm, still, peaceful. Armand walked toward him and fell to his knees. "Please help me," he said, his voice shaking. "My mind never stops. I am tired of thinking. I am tired of worrying. I have tried everything, but nothing works." The wise man opened his eyes slowly. He looked at Armand, not with judgment, but with understanding. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he stood up and walked inside his small hut. When he returned, he was holding a small clay lamp. A tiny flame flickered gently at its center. He handed it to Armand and said, "I will help you, but first you must do something for me." Armand nodded immediately. "I will do anything." The wise man said, "Take this lamp and walk down the hill to the village below. Then come back here." Armand looked confused. "That's all?" The wise man smiled slightly. "Yes, but there is one condition. The flame must not go out, not even for a second." Armand held the lamp carefully. The flame was small, delicate, and easily disturbed. He took a deep breath and began walking. As soon as he stepped forward, a cool breeze brushed against the flame. His heart skipped. He quickly covered the lamp with his hands, protecting it. He slowed his steps. Careful, focused. For the first time in a long time, his attention was not on his thoughts. It was on the flame every step he took. He watched it closely. When the wind blew, he adjusted his hands. When the path became uneven, he walked more carefully. People passed by him. Some greeted him, some smiled, some tried to talk. But Armand didn't respond, not because he didn't want to, but because he couldn't. His entire focus was on keeping the flame alive. As he walked further, he heard birds singing, children laughing, leaves rustling in the wind. But he didn't look around. He didn't think about the past. He didn't worry about the future. There was no space for it. His world had become very small, just him and the flame. Time passed, step by step. He reached the village. Without stopping, he turned back. The climb upward was harder. His legs felt heavy. His arms started shaking. Sweat rolled down his face. But still, he didn't lose focus. No matter what happened, he protected the flame. Finally, after a long struggle, he reached the top. The wise man was waiting. Be'armon walked up to him carefully and handed him the lamp. The flame was still alive. "I did it," he said, breathing heavily. The wise man nodded. Then he asked, "Tell me, what did you see on your journey?" Armon thought for a moment. "Nothing," he said. "I saw nothing but the flame." "Did you notice the trees?" the wise man asked. "No." "The people?" "No." "The sounds around you?" "I heard them, but I didn't pay attention." The wise man looked at him and asked one final question. "During this journey, did you think about your past?" Armon paused, then shook his head. "No." "Did you worry about your future?" Again, he said no. For a moment, there was silence. Then something changed in Armon's expression. He understood. "For the first time," he said slowly. My mind was quiet. There was no regret, no fear. Only this moment. The wise man smiled. "My son," he said, "you have just experienced peace. Peace is not something you find somewhere else. It is something that happens when your mind is fully in the present. Just like you protected this flame, you must protect your attention. When your mind is focused on what is in front of you, there is no space for past regrets or future fears." Armon stood there silently. Everything made sense now. All this time, he wasn't suffering because of life. He was suffering because of where his mind was. The past and the future, but peace was always in the present. That day, he didn't just learn something, he experienced it. And from that moment on, his life began to change. Whenever his mind started drifting, he remembered the flame. He brought his attention back to his breath, to his steps, to the moment. Slowly, his mind became calmer, not perfect, but peaceful, because now he knew the secret. You don't control your thoughts by fighting them. You control them by choosing where your attention goes. And when your attention stays in the present, peace follows. If this story made you realize something, share it with someone who overthinks too much. And tell me in the comments, how often does your mind pull you into the past or the future? And if you want more stories like this that help you take control of your thoughts and find real peace, make sure to subscribe, because sometimes the only thing you need to change your life is where you place your attention.